I can cook for you. I can clean for you. I can raise your kids. I can tell you how so much soul comes from me. That's the reason why you taste it in my food. But you can't vote for me. I can walk into a room, be the biggest thing there without even having to talk. But you can't vote for me. The street, I can tell you how to raise your kids right, and I can tell you how to have a fight because you ain't got no fight like I got. But you can't vote for me.
Lord, in the name of Jesus, I pray a hedge fence of protection around your daughter. No hurt, harm, or danger. I pray that you'll assign 100,000 angels to cover her head. Thank you, dear Lord, that you have given her this moment to defy the odds in front of the entire world. Now, God, not for her name, but we promise we're going to give you all of the victory.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. It is a new day. We thank the good Lord it's a new day. Thank God it is a new day. So good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. It's me again, WJNI channel, One Life, Many Seasons. Pastor Jamal Bryant says something is wrong with the brothers for not supporting Kamala Harris. I think this thing's got to stop. People have to be able to make up their own minds whichever way they want to go. Now, over there, you just saw the clip of Kamala in Pastor Jamal's church, New Birth, praying for him. Now, let's watch and see. He had an interview on CNN as well. He's saying the reason why he thinks brothers should be. As a matter of fact, it wasn't even asking. He was almost like a mandate that we have no choice but to support Kamala. I've got my thoughts on that, and I'm not in support of it. I was not in support when Barack said it. I'm not in support when any pastor or anybody says it. People have to be able to free think for themselves, and make up their minds. And we've got to stop using the church in the black community to bamboozle people. It's got to stop. Watch this.
You said something is wrong with brothers who don't know how to support a sister.
Yeah. Full stop.
Full stop. Why do these people just feel they could just say something and people are just supposed to follow? You were just a pastor. Yes, you leading people, but you're not God. We have to humble ourselves. This thing is getting too much. Yes, you should be able to talk to your people. Yes, you should be able to talk to your congregation, but not to order them and say this is what they must do, especially in the political atmosphere. I don't agree with this at all. At all. But let's just listen.
And Mordecai was man enough to know that in order for me to be a man, I got to know how to support a woman.
All right, let me stop him right there again. Let's get back to the real order of things. It's God first, the man, the woman, and children. Ideally, the woman was made to support the man, not the other way around. We got things all mixed up in the black community. And this is really hurting us. Yes, you can. Of course, you be there leading the family as a man, you being supportive of your woman, but not as the normal order of things. To have the man get behind the woman and say, hey, you must follow the woman. Do you notice that in the black community, we still have a lot of problem, a lot of issues with women trying to follow the leadership of men, but yet you want to change the whole order of things and say, men, now you have to get behind women. I'm sorry. I don't get behind that. That's not how things are supposed to be. And that's why we have all the chaos that we have today. That's not what God designed it to be. Let's just keep listening to what he's saying.
Something is wrong with brothers who don't know how to support a sister. It was a sister that raised you. It was a sister.
I'm going to stop him again. I'm sorry. In an actual orderly family, you're supposed to have the father and the mother. And you need to be raised by both the father and the mother. in an ideal situation. But obviously, we don't have the ideal. But it doesn't make it right. We still have to call it out. That's the number one problem we need to address before we start getting ahead of ourselves, trying to put things in places where they don't really belong. And then we end up in chaos and we can't find our way back. That's the problem.
That taught you how to read. It was a sister that taught you how to bathe yourself.
In the context of the vice president, were you trying to send a message?
That we've got to be able to vote, that misogyny is still real in our community.
Wait a second. What is this guy talking about? Misogyny. How? Because a man decides to go his own way and vote a type of way, you starting to tag him with all these names. And then when he follows you and follows what he's being told to do, you say he's not man enough because he's being controlled. But yet when he makes up his mind to do what he wants to do, you say no. He's being controlling. God help us. I am not liking this at all.
Unity. We've got to address it head on and not act like it doesn't exist. The reality is, if black men had voted, Stacey Abrams would be a governor.
But what if they felt like Stacey was not good enough to do the job? Why don't we just look at the issue from a performance perspective as opposed to a racial perspective or a gender perspective? Why does it have to always come from a gender perspective? That because she's a woman, a black woman, and that's why black men are not voting for her. That maybe we need to start thinking and asking black men. Maybe there's more to it, as I think there are, than what is going on. So black men are just not choosing not to vote for the black women. There's got to be more to it. And I think part of it is because a lot of times, most of the time, black men have been emasculated mostly by black women. And this is their way of revolting. Say, no, you took the steering wheel away from me and we crashed. And now you're blaming me for allowing you to take the steering wheel. This is a mess. We need to stop this. This is getting on my last nerve. You cannot force or mandate another brother and tell him how to vote. That is nonsensical. That is totally unacceptable. We got to do better in the black community. This is why we have problems. We have leaders that don't lead well. Our leaders need leaders. This is a problem.
And so I think that we've got to do some real redress. That after racism, the biggest ill in America is sexism. And I think it's part of the responsibility of this generation to deal with it head on.
Well, so for me, that may be his problem. Maybe that's Pastor Jamal Bryant's problem. I don't have that problem. I'm sorry. It's not about being a sexist. I'm looking at what works on a performance basis, what makes sense. Not just for me. I'm also looking at the generations behind me. So I got to have a leader today who's focused, who's got the foresight and the hindsight to lead well. And I'm not seeing that in Kamala. And how is that a problem? Because I'm not going in that direction. So I'm the problem for having a mind of my own to think for myself. I mean, let's listen to ourselves. The kinds of advice we give ourselves and the next generation. And we wonder why there's no growth. There's no development. We keep staying in the same spot. But finally, black men are saying, no, something is not right. We cannot keep going in the same direction and expecting a different result. And that's what they get. And they're not liking it. Black men are saying we're not going to be controlled like before anymore. We're not going to be bamboozled anymore. We have minds of our own. To summarize this whole thing, just listen to what this lady says. I think you got to listen to this.
Stop playing with me. Y'all don't even like her. There is nobody who actually likes or enjoys Kamala Harris. She's not funny. Her personality isn't all that great. Y'all not about to tell me that y'all like the way she look. Her complexion, her racial ambiguity can only take her so far. Look how she be drowning in them damn suits. What is it? What are her redeeming qualities? What is it about this woman who is so obsessed with, there is nobody I'm that obsessed with that I'm just going to speak their name over and over and over again. If I don't like somebody, I don't say their name. She says Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump constantly. She's obsessive. She talks about Donald Trump more than she talks about her kids. I mean, she don't have none. Her stepkids. She talks about Donald Trump more than she talks about her daddy. She talks about Donald Trump more than she talks about her late mother. She talks about Donald Trump more than she talks about her husband, her cousins. She talks about that man on a consistent basis. She's obsessed with him. What do y'all like about her? What is it? She's not likable. She's not enjoyable. She's not funny. She's not fun. She's not creative. She's not unique. She's not quick on her toes. Quit playing with me. Y'all just really hate him.
Quit playing with me, she says. And quite frankly, that's the story of the black community. We tell ourselves, let's gather around somebody or do something together. But in actuality, we don't even really like ourselves. It shows. God help us. I don't know what else to say, but other than Pastor Jamal, I'm sorry, you're not communicating. I don't know who you're trying to talk to, but black men are not listening to that. We're way past that already. Something has happened inside of us. And thank God something happened inside of black men. We finding ourselves. We got to get back to where God put us. God first, men, women, and children. That's the order of things. Anything else outside of that, you got chaos. And that's what we have. May God help us. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll be coming back with more pieces. You know how we like to close it out? We just like to remind ourselves that we always remember we got one life with many seasons. So let's make the best of it. God bless you. And I'll see you soon. You take care now. Bye for now.